This video will be a little different than normal. I had to relocate for a few months and I'm still waiting to have all my gear shipped up to where I am right now. So in the meantime, I thought I could talk about a book that can potentially skyrocket your music to a whole new level. The book is called Deep Work by Newport. And it's not a book about music, but it's a book that every musician definitely should read. So one of the great things about making music is how you can get completely immersed in the process, get lost in the flow state, and just completely forget about the entire world around you. And this is easy to achieve when you feel inspired, when you have a great idea you're working on, and when you have momentum. But inevitably, a lot of times, it will feel hard and you're not going to be as motivated. And sadly, if you want results, you just have to push through the lack of motivation. And this is the moment when you're the most vulnerable to every little time thief out there. Procrastination, social media, emails, mindless scrolling, YouTube, TikTok, and so forth. And suddenly you find yourself taking a long break, scrolling mindlessly on your phone, and you find yourself running out of time to finish your project this day as well. And this is really the core of what this book is trying to help you with. Getting things done using deep work. One of the most important habits any musician should implement into their routine. So what is deep work? The author Newport describes deep work as long, uninterrupted sessions of demanding cognitive work. So for a musician, making music, learning new gear, and practicing your instrument would fall under the category of demanding cognitive work. It's the core of what you do and what you want to accomplish. The opposite of deep work is shallow work. I would say for most musicians, things like maintaining your social media presence, emails, networking, and so forth falls under the category of shallow work. They're all important, but they require less brain power and skill, and they play a supporting role in your main craft, which is making music. And one of the dangers of shallow work is you feel productive when doing it. So you can give yourself permission to put off the hard work of your craft while you're replying to every single email or every single Instagram comment coming in at that exact moment. And then you have distractions. This is really anything stealing your attention to what you're doing at the moment. Notifications, incoming emails, texts, social media, etc. And these are things that are not important, not time sensitive, or just a complete waste of time. Now I'm sure you're already starting to identify areas in your day that fall into these three categories. So how do you start implementing deep work in your daily routine? One important tool mentioned in the book is time blocking. Basically, setting aside a chunk of time on your calendar for a specific task you want to accomplish. And when you do, you make sure that you get rid of all distractions during that time period. Personally, I like to set my computer to do not disturb. I turn off the notifications on my phone and I put it somewhere I would have to get out of my chair in order to look at my phone. And doing this and starting to implement time blocking in your deep work can be challenging at first. So you will have to think of this similarly as training a muscle. At first, you might struggle with staying focused. And maybe you can only do half an hour or an hour a day with deep focus. Especially if you're working on something you don't necessarily love doing or that might feel overwhelming. But if you keep it up, you'll notice that you'll quickly increase your ability to work concentrated and get things done. And you'll quickly find yourself being able to do 4 hours of deep work a day, which is also in the book recommended as the maximum amount of deep work you can actually cognitively do over the course of one day. So how do you schedule your time for deep work? There are several tools dedicated for time blocking online that you can check out, but personally, I just use Google Calendar. So in Google Calendar, I just try to fill up my productive hours with specific tasks using a dedicated color, but you can really use any scheduling tool that fits your needs. When you start doing this, you'll inevitably find yourself failing to strictly follow your time blocking schedule at times. And when things derail, you can simply sit down and revise your schedule for that day. The entire point of time blocking for deep work is to be conscious of your time. Now, using deep work has been extremely helpful personally for me, and it makes it so much easier to get the harder and more overwhelming things done in my day. For example, learning a new piece of equipment or adding the finishing touches to a project. And it feels incredibly satisfying when I've been able to really focus deeply on something hard and I've managed to complete it. And actually, the days where I don't schedule time for deep work, I often find the day to feel scattered and unproductive. So if you're interested in this book, I'll leave a link in the description. Hopefully I'll have my gear back next week and I'll be able to make more of my regular content. But if you like this format, I would love to hear from you in the comments. And I would really appreciate it if you dropped a like as well, because it always helps so much. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and in the meantime, you can check out this video right here, where I talk about 5 habits that are destroying your music.